Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So we are here for Kitsap Great Give 2026 to do just kind of a Q&A or question conversation about things that have come up or questions you might have that we could cover in a group setting. I set this meeting up as a webinar instead of a meeting, so that means that I can let you talk, but if you want to raise your hand, I can then allow you to talk so that I can enable that because it's set up as a webinar. You can also you can also toss things in the chat or the Q&A that we can address, whichever way is most comfortable for you. But yeah, if anyone has a question, feel free to throw up your hand. Okay, Bobby Moore. Bobby, I have, oh, you you can talk.
Okay. Um, my questions are about the final touches on the profile page. We have a couple of matches, and um, I think I set them up properly, but I don't know how to link people who come to the site direct to the matches.
Well,
That's the
when
first
you
question.
yeah, when your match, so the match setup lets you add kind of like a date and time with when
Yep.
you want it to be live. Like, should it be live for, the entirety from like early giving to the giving date, or did
Yep.
the donor just say like, oh, I want to match on March 10th?
Like
Um,
these are supposed to be active the entire time.
Great. Yeah. So then on your match, you would just have them start on March 1st and end with the giving event. And then anybody that gives to your organization while that match is live between that start and that end date, their donations, if they meet whatever criteria are set up, will go towards the match.
Okay, so they won't see anything on our profile page about it.
Um, well, they will see.
I mean, they won't have to take action based on the profile page.
No, they don't have to take action based on the profile page. It will automatically apply. Uh, they will see if they scroll down on on your page, they will see that matches are live and there is an like it shows, but like you don't need to click the match in order for your donation to go towards the match. Um,
Okay.
you just need to make a donation to your organization and the match will apply.
Okay. Uh, may I ask a second question?
Yeah, of course.
We set up a link to a small video. It's just a series of still shots that are have got some editorial captions associated with them. And we haven't been able to get it to work with our computers, but it worked perfectly with my cell phone this morning. So, um, how is this something I should just email Mightycause about, or is there some tip that will be a breakthrough for us?
I I don't know a tip. I would say support at
Okay,
mightycause.com.
okay,
Because they do more of the troubleshooting with like it maybe it could be like a browser version that
yep, yep,
isn't playing the video, but if it worked on your phone this morning, it sounds to me like you have it set up correctly. But I don't know off the top of my head if there's like, oh, that browser version is outdated and it's a common thing to see.
okay,
But
okay.
support would be able to tell you that.
All right, that's super. All right, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Those are my two questions. I guess I'll just listen and see if I learn anything from other people's questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. See, anybody else have a question? Lauren, coming for you. Oh, Laureen, sorry. You should be uh
Okay. All right. Now, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, I'm Lorene Honeyman, and I'm from the Dispute Resolution Center of Kitsap. And we've been here in Kitsap for serving our community here for 35 years, actually, which is something we're proud of. Um, I had signed up for a demo for the peer-to-peer to get some help to set that up. And I haven't gotten a response so far. So I was wondering what's the best way for me to get someone to walk me through it and give me a demo.
Uh, I don't know that we do demos. I don't know that support does demos. That might your demo request might have gone into like the sales queue for nonprofits that use Mightycause
Oh,
kind of for their year-round donations. We do have a good number of articles that are about the peer-to-peer and the setup and the we have the video from the last webinar that kind of walks through peer-to-peer as well, so we could make sure that you get directed to the that video and to the articles about the peer-to-peer.
yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I had one question too.
Okay.
Another one. Um, we're not really clear. It might sound like a funny question, but we're not very clear about when people can actually start going to the Great Give website and start giving. When I tried it with my own personal email, I could still go to greatgivekitsap.org and open up the DRC, Dispute Resolution Center, and it looked like I could donate. Um,
Yeah.
is so how are people handling donations before March 1st?
Those don't count towards the event. So
Oh,
the
that's what it is. Okay, right.
yeah, yeah, because we allow donations. Kitsap Great Give allows the platform allows donations year round to like, allow people to do kind of recurring gifts and to do like different campaigns on the platform, outside of Kitsap Great Give, but only donations that come in from March 1st through the event count towards your giving event totals and prizes.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And we have a question in the chat
Okay.
from Natalie. Says, I set up a fundraiser to get a link. Is that the correct way to generate my link for my organization's donations?
Uh, you can if you want you can do a fundraiser to do like specifically, let's see, I can share my screen. A fundraiser page you could create if you wanted to like draw attention for a donor to um specific like programs that you're fundraising for, something like that. You don't need to set up a fundraiser in order to receive donations to your organization. You just need to send you just need to send a link to your page and donors will be able to donate. You just want them to not come and donate until March 1st.
And you can find the link to your page
Yeah.
is, are you going to share your screen so they can
Oh
find the,
yeah, sorry. I
yeah,
I was
okay,
like going towards the page, but like
yeah.
I forgot to share. Sharing screen. Okay. So one way to get to it is if this was your organization, you have the URL. This is your direct link to your profile, to your page. And so that will be a direct link, or if you wanted to give a direct link to your donation page, you could say simply swap out this organization with the word donate, and this will take you to the donation page. And so you could just provide this link directly in the URL. Again, if they click on that link and donate on February 28th, it's not going to count towards Kitsap Great Give totals. If they click that link and make a donation after March 1st, it will.
You
Were
can
you going to advise
also,
something different, Gretchen?
oh, sorry. Oh, I was going to say you can also eliminate that word donate and or organization, and you can just have it go straight from the slash Abrams house, and it will go to the
Yep.
page.
Yeah, it
So
automatically.
you can make your URL shorter, which is what I always recommend, is to make your URL as short as possible. So it can just be the Kitsap Great Give slash your org name.
Let me
Yeah.
see. Going back to Zoom. Okay. Did that cover the question? Okay, great. And then, okay, no other questions in the chat. Does anyone else have a hand raised? And to the question, Lauren, you had about the fundraiser, you could just come to your nonprofits page if you wanted a easy way to create a fundraiser, and you just go from your profile. You can go from the public facing page, go to your profile, click fundraise, and then you have to log in, and then it just says like get me started, and it'll just have your title and your story and an image, and it's pretty easy to straightforward to just put those elements into your fundraising page. Let's see. I don't see anybody else that has a hand raised or a chat. Yep, Lorraine.
Thanks. Uh, yeah, so I understand that the story, the narrative is important from one of our past gatherings. So, um, are we the DRC itself, whoever puts that page together, are they creating the story themselves, or do you mean whomever we have in our organization, volunteer friend or whatever, that's going to have a page here? You mean their story, or are you recommending that the organization has a story in there as well?
I mean, if you are, I recommend that, fundraisers be personal. I think people give to personal, you know, personal requests. So what you can do is if you are creating a fundraiser for this organization, for like a program or something like that, you could put in a story, which is just in an about us section, and maybe, why the organization, what kind of impact it has in the community, or maybe if it's a program for a program, here's what the program has achieved or why you should give. If you want to make it a little more, if you're asking, say, your volunteers to, and you said your organization was a DRC.
Correct.
If you're asking your volunteers or your board members to create a fundraising page for you, you could go to, let's see. Sorry.
Can you do a dispute resolution?
Oh, dispute. Thank you.
Mhm.
I was losing what DRC was. Okay, so let me pretend like I'm you. a way to make it easy for you to ask people to make fundraisers for your organization is to come to your dashboard and go to your fundraising tools and go to fundraiser templates. And this is a way for you to kind of pre-populate information for someone creating a fundraiser. So you can put in a suggested title, which is like, maybe you'd say like, you want them to put their name into the title. So you say like insert name and then is raising funds for DRC, or, you put in a title and maybe indicate with brackets or in parentheses, like where, how they could personalize it themselves. You could say, why doesn't every fundraising page have a default funding goal of $500? You could add an image or a video, maybe that is part of your collateral for the DRC. So they could have, maybe there's an impact video or a testimonial video, and they could use that video if they want, or they could update it with their own, but it's already in place. Um, you could encourage them to put in a short story, kind of an elevator pitch. And then in the story area, you could say something like in brackets, like, personalize this, but you could put in a story that is about the DRC that you want kind of every fundraising page to include, and then encourage the volunteer, the board member to customize that with their own information. But you could put in a starting point for everyone so that when they go to create a fundraising page, they can use this template and they don't have to do as much work. And so what that looks like in real life is on the demo site. On the demo site. I am a board member and I'm coming to the page and I'm going to fundraise. Yes, I want to get started. It's going to say, there's this checkbox that shows up. It's going to be defaulted to yes, but it says use template provided by organization. So you could encourage people to use the template. And then when they launch the page manager, you saw what that looked like when I showed you the page with all the blinks in it. But
Yeah.
if they're using a template, there's already, as you can see, there's already a title in here. There's already an image. There's already a suggested short story. There's already a suggested story in here. And so everyone that uses your template would already have this as a starting point. And so there is not as much thought that they need to give to it. They don't need to feel like they're starting from scratch, although some people love to start from scratch. But using a template allows someone to have a jumping off point for your suggested kind of maybe story or branding that you'd like to put out there.
So for instructions for people who want to do this, then I could just have the link that goes to our page through Kitsap Great Give, and direct them to click on the fundraiser button to the right of donate and to follow the prompts, and that
Yep.
there will be a template there that they can get some ideas with.
Yep. You just need to make sure before you have them do that, you need to make sure that you come to fundraiser templates and create that template.
Yes.
Yep. And then enable it. Like there's a star icon that shows that you just need to make sure that it's enabled. And then they will see that checkbox and they will be able to just walk through that process.
And so they also, when they finish their whatever they're creating, there's a button that they have to press that says enable. Is that right?
Nope, that's just you creating the template.
Okay. Once they go in and they, create what they want,
I think that they have to click. I think that I think they get prompted to publish their fundraiser, so they would need to do that.
publish.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when they send out emails to, friends, family, colleagues, what have you, will they have a unique link that will go to their page, or like how do people find their particular fundraiser page?
They do. They have, we look at for instance, some of these published fundraisers. They have, oh, that is, sorry. Sometimes when I'm logged in as a Mightycause person, I get some additional items. So let me refresh the page. So for instance, see if Crosby is still. I need to turn off the redirects to Washington Gives apparently. So this is their shareable URL. So like when their page is published, they have this shareable URL.
I see.
But this is just like was not personalized. You can personalize the URL as Gretchen would recommend and share that.
Okay.
And that
Or they can also direct uh their friends or what have you to go to our website, and then can they also get to that person's page by pressing fundraiser,
there would
the
be
fundraiser
fundraisers
button?
listed. If the profile displays fundraisers on it, it would show there. I recommend using the URL because otherwise there's just additional steps to like find it. Like if you're just searching for fundraisers and you want to give to one, then by all means, I say go through the search process. But if this is someone that is promoting their fundraising page and they are trying to solicit donations to their fundraising page, on their page in their settings, they have this URL customization. They can either provide this URL as it stands, with the W4 LA2F, or they could put in like MK fundraising or whatever the custom URL is, and then this whole thing would be their URL. So I recommend that they personalize that URL and that they provide the URL.
So let's say I've got three peer-to-peer people who have created pages, and they've all got their own URL. And then if somebody goes to our Kitsap DRC site and they see the donate button on the left and the fundraiser button on the right, and if they click on that button on the right, the fundraiser button on the right, what will they find?
That's to create a fundraiser.
It's only to create the fundraiser. Okay.
Mhm.
So then where would people see the peer-to-peer?
They can come here to the search page and they can click fundraisers and they can search for Dispute Resolution Center, or they could go to your page and they could scroll down and it looks like you are not displaying any fundraisers. So what they could do is
we took them out because it was from last year. Um, Although our director had previously thought that it would be good to keep them in. What do you folks do?
if you I recommend doing the personal links for the fundraising pages. If you want people to see fundraising pages that are published for your organization by landing on your page, then you want to do this. Show the supporting campaigns on your profile.
Okay, great. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and if you just wanted to highlight three of them specifically, you could still show the supporting campaigns, but you could do the featured campaigns, and then you could like hand select, like, I want to highlight these three that maybe we created for programmatic needs, or I want to highlight all of the board members' campaigns. That's where you would use the featured campaigns.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see.
We have a request to see how to download donations reports
Oh, great. Yeah,
and see new donors.
So as not to show anybody's
Yeah.
donation. So as not to show anyone's donation data, let's go back to that demo site. So as an organization, I would come to reports and go, so I'm on my dashboard and I land on, because I'm Mightycause, I land on a different page, but you're going to land on your overview page. And from there, you're going to scroll down and go to reports and kind of expand that, and then come over to donations. And this is going to show you your donor report, and it's going to default. This filter is always defaulted to show the last 30 days. So if you're like, that's not all my donations, that's why. You can say, I want to see all of my donations from these certain time periods, or you can say from a custom date range, and you can go ahead and put in the time, the date, the date range that you're looking for. And that will then show a new list on this donor report. You can look for, say, you're looking to see specifically recurring donations or online donations or offline donations. So you can choose that donation type. You can also search and say, oh, I'm looking for giving it, donations. And this will say like Kitsap Great Give 2025. So you want to look for 2025 donations, and then you still have to do the date range, but you can specifically look for donations that were tagged to the giving event for last year. And then if you're going to see, let's see, let me get rid of that. Back to So this is kind of limited data that's displaying on this page, but if you go to the download button and download that donation data, it's going to show you additional data points that the donor provided, such as like their billing address and, so maybe you want to send them a postcard as a thank you. So download that data, and then you'll have, address information provided they weren't anonymous, and you can uh, get more details on the donation than what displays kind of at this quick glance. So that is finding our donor report. And then there is the retention report that says, for different time periods or different events, it shows you donors that have been retained. If they have a green dot next to them, they've been retained, so they've given again in the time period. If it has a red dot, then they haven't given again. And I think we have an article with some examples about the donor retention report that I can send the team. But this little retention area, there's not great data in the demo system to show this, but you just compare donors that have given thus far to this year to date compared to like a last giving event, and it will show you, you know, who might you want to reach out to because they haven't given again yet. So, you would download that report and then be able to send out a targeted email to those donors. I'm looking at the chat.
There's a next question about the Lights, Camera, and Impact prize.
Okay.
And yeah, I was looking at the qualifications. We have post a video on social media by March 1st, which is the start of early giving. I think that's kind of when we established that they could to start posting videos, or they just needed, but I don't think that's not when they end posting the videos. So I think just posting a video by March 10th. And then I don't think you were asking if there is a time or a limit of how many, only one video entered per organization, and I don't think so. We haven't really talked about all those little details. So, because this is the first time we've had this prize. So, no, I would say that there is not one limit per organization, one video per organization. And yeah, and a time requirement would just be by March 10th. So I can probably update that because we have it as post video by March 1st, but it should be March 10th. So I hopefully that answers that question. So.
Someone mentioned that some folks are missing where they can kind of personalize the donation experience. So if you're in your dashboard on the left-hand side and you come down to checkout, if you want to go to say thank you page, this is where this is kind of a preview of the thank you page that a donor would see when they check out, whether they give to just this Animal Humane Society organization or perhaps they gave to 3 organizations in their cart. They are going to see it shows this little hand icon, this note. This is where Kitsap Community Foundation, their thank you message is going to display. And then below that, your donation message, your thank you message, your personalized thank you message will display. You have full ability to do like, you could embed an image or a video. Maybe the staff does a little, a thank you message and you want to put that in there, or maybe you want to guide them to your annual report. So you put in a button that does a link to your home, your website where your annual report is located. You can do all different things there, but a personal thank you always has a big impact. And we recommend, even if it's a simple like one sentence statement, just putting something personal in there. So that is where the thank you page lives. You can also, it doesn't say this, but if for instance someone gave to 3 organizations and each of those organizations put in a thank you message, the donor's experience is going to be they'll see the overall Giving Day thank you message, and then they'll see like stacked on top of each other. Like one, they'll see the Animal Humane Society's thank you message, they scroll down, then they'll see the Art Museum's thank you message, and they scroll down, then they see the Children's Museum thank you message. So they'll be able to see all of that as they scroll the page. And I believe the order that those appear on the page is the order the donations were added to the cart. Don't quote me on that because I don't think anybody's asked that, but I could see that being a question. And I can follow up on that if it's important to anyone. So that's where the thank you page is. And then the other part where you can tell your story is through the donation form under checkout. And so these are not on by default, but some people like to put in customized donation levels and say, like if you give us $25 to the Animal Humane Society, what could that do? Oh, like an impact statement, that could provide 5 dogs with blankets. This isn't saying this is restricted giving or that the $25 has to go towards supplying 5 dogs with blankets. It's just a way for you to tell the kind of impact that you can do in your organization based on different donation levels. And so you can add, I believe, up to 5 or 6 donation levels here. You can just put in dollar amounts, or you can add text below it as well, but that's optional. So, you could start with some donation levels that are a little smaller, like $10 or $15. And maybe you have an aspirational gift of like, oh, it would be so amazing if someone gave $150. It could do this, so you could put that in there. Just kind of like do a whole range. And even if the donor doesn't choose one of those levels, it might help them decide to give a little bit more because they're like, oh wow, I could do more for that. So that is a way for you to tell your story more on the donation form. And also, I believe it's already defaulted. You can add the dedication option. So if you want them to add a dedication to their donation, so that would be where you could say this is on behalf of, or in honor of, or in memory of, so they can add that dedication. And then you can add like a custom question if you'd like. For instance, in this demo site, it says, hey, would you like to be added to our email distribution list? That's not a question that Kitsap Community Foundation put on the donation form. That in this example would be this Animal Humane Society is asking the donor if they would like to be added to an email list. So that's an example of a question that you can add. And I believe that you can add 2 custom questions to your donation form. This is another example, like what kind of donor are you? I'm first timer, returning, or I'm a volunteer, or I'm a fundraiser, kind of how do you identify? So maybe that helps you with some of your demographics of who's giving. But again, you can add some of those items. Oh, again, so I'm sorry, I can't remember who asked this, but how do I get to that direct donate link to a page? You can come to the donation form and click copy direct donate link, and then you can control V or paste, and that will give you the direct donate link. Kind of as Gretchen had mentioned, you can take out the word donate in there and just, take directly to their page. It gives you a shorter link. But that is what the page looks like. If you toggle it off of edit mode, this just shows you what the page will look like when it's published. The edit mode just shows you where you can customize your page. Let's see. Looking through the questions, the chat. George had a question about how to use the logos on the samples page and put it in a system like Constant Contact. I wonder if that is Kitsap team. I'm wondering if that is a question for, or maybe George, you could let me know if I'm off base on this. Are we talking about, I'm on the Kitsap Great Give page. I go to the resource hub. I see the logos are in the logo file. And then were you asking like how to take an image from here and put it in Constant Contact, of which I actually don't know because I don't know how to use Constant Contact. But is that the question we're trying to answer? I can also unmute you if you are. That is okay.
Yeah. So,
Gretchen,
so demonstrate how to put.
do you want me to let you share, or do you want me to stop sharing, Gretchen?
I don't have constant contact, so
Okay.
I've never used that, so I can't really show
Okay.
him. But do you want to be? I made a screen print and entered it. Do you want to unmute yourself? Maybe we can
Oh,
talk
yeah,
it through.
let me George, sorry,
Is
one
that possible?
second. I forgot my mouse upstairs, which is not usually a problem, but sometimes um I okay, George, there's 2 of you, so I'm allowing both of you to talk. Um, okay, you should be able to. Oh, George? Maybe the other George.
But basically, you should be able to download these PNGs and SVG files. The PNG, if you're wanting to, yeah, I made a screen print, so you just did a screen grab. So these are all downloadable. So if you just click on one of them, you can download it with that button at the top. And there's just a variety there. And then you can,
Oh, hey,
yeah, and
George.
then you can just upload it. So you don't have to do a screen grab. You can just download any one of these. So if that's what you're looking for. And these are all transparent PNGs. And there was a variety there to choose from. So you can kind of flip through them. Does
And I
that
think
kind of answer your
is
question?
the PNG is what he wants to use, right? Because SVG is more of a
Yeah,
like if you're getting into the like the nitty-gritty of like
yeah,
graphics.
yeah. The SVG is a vector file. So if you're going to try to print, then I would go with the SVG. But the PNG is great for constant contact. Does that answer your question, George?
Yes. You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Let's see. I don't see any more questions in the chat. Does anyone still on the call have a question? I have a few more minutes.
We could do frequent questions we've been getting because Joe has been filtering uh, our email inbox and answering
Okay.
a lot of your questions. Let's see. What are some frequent questions we've been getting? Um, yes. Who's best to reach out to? Support versus reaching out to us at the foundation. See.
Laureen, I just put it, it's support at mightycause.com.
Oh, I think you have a support. Why?
Oh, do not do what I just did or you'll never get an answer. Support at, okay.
Don't go that
Questions you have
one.
about like the platform that you're using when you're wandering around the website, figuring out how to design your organization page or anything that's system wise. Support at Mighty Cause is your best bet because they know their system very well. I think any questions about like marketing strategies or creative, that's also Gretchen. You can also funnel it through us. What are other good reasons to reach out to who? Hmm. That's shit. And Mighty Cause has a lot of great articles to help figure out what's going on over there too. I always need to default on some articles every other day, so that's super helpful. What else? Mhm.
I'm gonna put the Canva templates. I have a link to all of those um, in there too, if anybody's using them.
Um, so your page will still be live even outside of the Great Give period. And it's up to you if you want to keep your page live or if you want to just close it and then funnel it through your websites. But any donations that occur outside of Mighty Cause or through the Kitsap Great Give through the website, um, those are not automatically populating. So for example, if you're an organization, someone walked in through your door and handed you a check that day, um, that's a common question we get is how do I put on offline donations that I've processed? I think we could walk them through that really quick.
Offline, yeah. Oh, share screen. Yep, so to enter an offline gift, you will come to your reports and you will go to donations and go to offline donations. And here in the upper right-hand corner is an add offline donation. It's not a button, it's text. And if you click that, it kind of guides you through some required items for an offline donation, such as the first name and the last name. A lot of the fields are optional, but you put in the dollar amount, so you know they gave you a check for $150 for your own like bookkeeping. It might be good for you to recall whether that was a check or cash or something else. If you have a donor email, you can go ahead and add that. You can go ahead and enter this is showing your time zone. I live in Denver, so that's why it's showing mountain time. It will show Pacific time for, I imagine, 98% of you. And so you'll be able to put in when the donation date was received. You can add in if you have, for bookkeeping, record keeping, you can add in the address if you have it. there's a field that says external tracking ID. This might be you had to enter this gift came to you outside of the platform, so you had to enter it into your other record keeping system. And so like here's the 8-digit tracking ID that allows you to kind of reference it between the two systems. It doesn't connect it in any way, but it's for data purposes. Like when you pull a report, you would see that external tracking ID in there. Um, and then and then also you can just make a note, whether there was like a dedication, if you have any notes on that donation you want to add, and whether it should be, like an anonymous donation. But that is the offline gifts. Did I miss anything there, Lillian? No? Okay.
Nope. And then to note, if there's any donors that are sending their offline donations through us at the foundation, we get a lot. I think we get about a couple hundred offline donations processed through us. So it does take a little time for us to input those offline donations to your organizations. So please be patient with us. It takes a little bit even after the giving period has passed. But we usually have everything solidified by the end of the month. So if you're like wondering if your donation report is up to date yet, you can just email us and we'll say like, okay, actually all the offline donations in process, your reports are as accurate as possible. I think that's about it. And then
Yay.
another question we get is when am I getting my disbursement? So what we send out a physical check from the foundation will include all the offline donations we processed, any boosts and prizes you received, and it will come with a letter with that breakdown of what each amount is. And that usually goes out about late April to early May, depending on how busy we get.
And then the disbursements through Mightycause, if you have EFT set up, then they are electronically dispersed twice a month, mid-month and end of month. So the Kitsap Great Give donations, I believe, should be dispersed at the end of March. And then if you get more year-round donations, they fall into the every 2-week cycle. And if you do not have EFT set up on Mightycause, then we disperse paper checks, and those incur a $5 fee, and we send those out once a month at the end of the month. So those are donations through the platform, not gifts that or disbursements by Kitsap Community Foundation. All right.
think just I think what we get a lot of feedback on, what we see on our end is about your logos that you're posting to your organization page. Just take a peek. Remember to go through it because what you see on there is what your folks will see. And a common I wouldn't say issue, but common thing we note is that some people's logos are not properly sized. So when they're going through that search function, it looks a little strange. So always double check to make sure your visuals are really good.
All right. Thank you everyone for your questions. Thanks for participating. Hope you learned something. And if you have more questions, please reach out to us at support@mightycause.com. They've got lots of, even if you're like, I feel like I should know how to do this, or can you remind me again where to go? They're really great at providing details. They're excellent at troubleshooting, and uh, they should get back to you within like a business day or two. Uh, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this giving event kick off. And early giving, don't forget, opens March 1st, which is Sunday. I believe it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So early giving starts on Sunday. So get your donors queued up, and I'm excited to watch this happen.
Yes, and we have a prize for the very first donation. Is that right?
Is that for the giving day though? Or is it on the
Yes.
giving day?
Is that on the giving day? The
Yeah,
kickoff?
that might be the kickoff.
Yeah, the kickoff.
Yeah,
Okay, so
sorry.
March
Yeah,
10th, the first of
March
the
10th.
first donation.
oh,
Mhm.
March 10th. Yeah, yep, yep.
We look
Yeah.
forward to seeing your videos and judging them.
Mhm. Yes. That'll be fun.
Great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.